She lets go of the burnt straitjacket buckles, and sneaks a look up at the security camera, and wonders if they have been watching her this entire time. Maybe this was a test, one of the many devised by the evil doctors. Heavy footsteps echoed off on the concrete walls of the corridor, pausing every few minutes, and then continuing, drawing ever closer to the place she has called home for so long. She knew, no senses, that this is her chance to escape. Her hands clench beneath the straitjacket as she waits for the footsteps to reach her cell. Tiny burst of smoke, moved and twisted like spider webs from her hands. Moments later the footsteps stop outside the steel door, and a gruff voice says from the other side of the door, "How is she this morning?" A soft voice responds, "Yes, we will make a lot of money off this operation. The government needs a super solider that can burn armies of men, with just a thought." Gives a whole new meaning to a hot piece of ass, don't it, Bill? Bill coughed and stomped his feet. "Look, don't talk that way, about the assets, they are government property, and if she don't burn your pecker off, the guys upstairs will cut it off and feed it to you with bacon and eggs. You remember what happened to Larry, don't you? See that black stain over on the wall? That's Larry. When they first started this project, they were giving the subjects monthly injections of the vaccine. Back then they were using eggs to make it. After all, it was cheaper, and their cheapest contract goes to the lowest bidder. That's the government motto. Well, that vaccine only worked for a little while. Larry decided to work late one night and come in and rough up number 5 here, and she really did a number on him. In short, don't fuck with the assets. She knows there is no way that she can overpower 2 of them, even if she has the advantage of surprise. The viewing window in the door slides open, and a pinched face with beady eyes appears. The black eyes casually survey the cell before finally resting on her silhouette. The pinched face smiles cruelly, revealing coffee and smoke-stained teeth. Her stomach lurches as the sight of the ugly man, but manages to force a smile. If she can't force her way out of this place, then maybe she can sweet-talk her way out, or at the very least, get information that might help her. She says, "Who are you two? And who is the doctor? Why did you take me, and kill my family?" The ugly man sneers at her, whispers something to the person standing behind him, and then slams the viewing window shut. The smell of smoke and coffee lingers at the viewing window as she slowly slides down the concert wall. She panics, begins to stand, but thinks better of it. The security camera is still on, and she doesn't want to risk them seeing that she has undone the straitjacket. She calls out, "No, wait, don't go yet." The viewing window slides open again and a startlingly handsome man with cold, grey eyes devoid of any emotion stare at her. Somehow his grey, empty eyes make her feel less than human, and she shrinks under his gaze. At that moment, she realizes the severity of her situation, and that there is no way she was going to talk her way out of this. They had, after all, murdered her entire family, worked her over time and time again, and it was almost time for injections again. She heard one talk about new experiments. Whatever they had planned for her was likely more terrible. Or worse, maybe someone like Larry would come and visit her, and if the vaccines worked she would be helpless. The viewing window slams shut, and the lock clicks into place. Her heart skips a beat, and she decides to act. If she is going to get out of this place, then she is going to have to take control. Sitting around and waiting isn't going to work. She stands up and sprints to the door. She stands beneath the security camera, out of its field of vision, and finishes taking off the straitjacket. She is about to start banging on the door, when she hears a muted conversation, and presses her ear against the cold steel of the door so that she can hear what they are saying. The voice of another man says to his partner, "Why did you keep this one alive? I thought your orders were to kill her, so the doctors could see what's going on in her head." The grey-eyed man responds, Director changed the plan at the last minute, we got an order for an organ transplant. Records shows that one of the sisters might have a matching blood type. One of the sadists upstairs thinks that if we take some of their parts, their abilities would transfer to the host. It's one thing to make a soldier, but it's another to make one that is already a veteran killing machine better. The ugly man laughs, and says, as long as I get my cut. Maybe I can have a little fun with her, before they take what they need. Who should we start with first, her, or her sister? A brief pause, and then the gray-eyed man says, her sister, let's go. A distant door slams shut with a crash, and the corridor again falls silent. My sister? She thought I don't have a sister. Well, I did, but she died long ago. Do they have her? Is she alive? 100s of thoughts raced through her head. A chill runs through her again, and she fights to keep herself from shaking from the uncontrolled emotions tugging at her. She paces back and forth, careful to stay under the security camera, and out of their view, and tries to make sense of what she just learned. Her sister is alive, but how? Stay paranoid, my friends.